One of my hobbies is Rubik's cubing. As childish as that may seem, and as abrupt a way to start as that is, I know, I feel like this little colorful box is the best representation of the point that I'm going to try to make to you tonight. You see, there's a big problem in our world nowadays, and that is that everyone relies on other people in order to find satisfaction and happiness in their own lives. I mean, just look around you. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Vine, our lives have become devoted to fishing for likes and reposts. Even with text messaging, we're constantly connected to all of our friends, and we're never alone anymore. Isn't that great? We never have to feel alone. The masses have grown to cling to this idea that most of what we are comes from what other people think of us and expect us to be, and that if you take those people away, nothing means anything. But when we lie down at night and look back at ourselves, how can we be satisfied living our lives for those other people? We're missing the fact that confirmation and conformation are the exact same thing. And that when we constantly seek the approval of others, we're not living as ourselves anymore. We're not acting as ourselves. We're simply acting how that person would act in our situation. We have to rethink this lifestyle. We have to find a way to become individuals again. And we have to have the confidence to know that, yeah, we're going to be alone sometimes. But we need to know that when we are alone, we have the ability to be happy. I want everybody here to take a second and do something with me. I want you to look at yourself. Find something about you, something maybe not a lot of people know, some small thing unique to you. It doesn't have to be a hobby like the example that I'm about to use. It just has to be something that you believe defines you. I really hope that everyone has at least one thing on their mind, because that is where it all starts. That is the thing that you can use to find that individualism, that identity. That is the thing that can keep you company when other people can't. And that is what will keep you happy when you're truly alone. I began by talking about these little things, specifically hobbies, and that is because I believe it is these exact little things, the things most people take for granted, that speak the biggest volumes about who each person truly is. Don't believe me? I'll use mine as an example. I want everybody to look at this box, and what do you see? To most people, it's a toy. Some people will agree, maybe a pretty tough puzzle. A lot of people will say, what's the big deal? I can probably just look up a tutorial how to solve it online. I'm sure it's not that difficult. You see, when you look at it, it's insignificant. But when I look at it, I see a very important lesson. I'll show you. So, we've all learned from day one that everything is easier when we work together, as a team, with our friends. But those of us who set about with our sole goal being to find that perfect team our very first try are going to fail. And I mean they should. For most of us, life is not a fairy tale, no matter how dashing the prince may be. But as for the rest of us, we just have to keep turning the wheels until, as if by magic, everything falls into place. The problem comes when people see the beautiful picture they've painted for themselves. They're too afraid to do anything to try to ruin it. These are those people who conform, those who will do anything it takes to keep their picture pretty without stepping back to look at the entire three-dimensional problem. So this is the challenge I have for you guys after today. Be yourself. I know, it's unique. Don't be afraid to rock the boat, because things will come back together for you in the end. And then, when you take a step back, you'll realize the progress that you've truly made all along. A lot of people will get to this point, but then they stop. They see that beautiful picture, that perfect friend group they've always wanted, and they see that the other aspects of their life are starting to come along as well. But they're not finished yet. There are still pieces missing. They haven't truly found that identity yet because they haven't found their small thing, their Rubik's Cube. In fact, all of our own Rubik's Cubes show us that progress cannot be made without twisting the gears. without taking the chance of messing up something that you already have in order to find something greater. But if you have the ability to persevere and start living for yourself and not those other people and do what's best for you, then you'll realize that you are part of a bigger picture all along. And it gets easier as you go. Once you find that confidence, then the changes you make in your life will have less and less of an impact on your team and on the other aspects of your life as well. And when you get so close to that self-actualization, you're not afraid anymore. Then you have the power to be able to finish strong and come out and show the world, here I am, this is me. So yeah, it is just a toy, but it's my small thing. It's my Rubik's Cube. What's yours?